Murli Notes, 16th November 2022. The inheritance requires deep understanding. What is the wealth of God? Knowledge and spiritual power. You have to claim your inheritance from the Father. It is a matter of absorption. As much as you give to others, so much can you absorb yourself. This is a spiritual law. The founders of the different religions are also sons of God. Therefore, they cannot give an inheritance to anyone. They themselves must claim their inheritance from God. The concept of the omnipresence of God comes from India and was exported into the other religions subsequently. The concept of omnipresence of God does not tally with the fact that religious people of all religions remember and call on God as an individual to come and purify them and give them salvation. There is no meaning in calling out to someone who is omnipresent. If God were omnipresent, then the characteristics of God, purity, peace, love, power, and bliss, must also be omnipresent, and they are not. The Creator of all is one, which means He is the purifier of the impure. The inheritance is the knowledge and the power that enables souls to become pure, and thereby their prayers and supplications to be purified are fulfilled. The word creator applies to the phenomenon of giving a sense of identity to someone. It does not mean causing them to exist. No soul has a beginning or an end, therefore cannot be created, in the sense of made to exist by God or anyone else. Matter also can neither be created nor destroyed, only transformed. Therefore God would not have created the universe either. All souls are already there. Matter is already there, and the story of humanity is also already there. God is also the teacher who provides you with the information required to make sense of it all, to understand the laws that govern matter and spirit, the laws of karma, time, space, perpetual motion, the physical, the subtle, and the incorporeal worlds. There is a contradiction between the theologies of the religions and the instinctive behavior of devotees. Theology says that either there is no God, or that God is an omnipresent, all-pervading energy that is all things, or that God is the founder of their religion. Yet, people call to an individual non-human God to come and purify them. Instinct comes from a deep subconscious place in the soul, while theology comes from the religious authorities, whose influence on people is political and social but not necessarily spiritual. Spiritual laws are incontrovertible. There is a spiritual law that says, when circumstances are unbearable, people turn to God. The subconscious of a soul contains deeply buried memories of the entire experience of the soul through the course of many lives. Every soul has the memory of the impact of their encounter with God in the previous confluence age, the impact of the final destruction during that confluence age, and some souls have the impact of the small destruction at the cusp of the silver and copper ages. At this time, global population has reached 8 billion. There may have been about 330 million people on Earth at the time of the small destruction. This experience paved the way for the coming of the great religions of the world and prompted the appearance of the religious founders. The number of people who recognized God at the time of the previous age was as little as 108 or as many as 900,000. When the circumstances of the cycle return to the previous time when those souls awakened to the recognition of God, then they recognize Him again. It is said that the global population was 900,000 at the beginning of the time cycle. This means that only 0.01% of human souls directly experienced human history from the beginning to the end of the entire cycle of time. Among all the BKs, only a few recognize God accurately. Only a few can have accurate yoga. Only a few understand the knowledge fully and accurately. These phenomena help us to understand what is happening at this time and what course of action to take. The overwhelming number of people who turn to God do so on the basis of blind faith, assumptions, faulty logic, inconsistent thinking, and a small percentage of understanding. The most powerful influence on a soul is a mighty vision. Baba has predicted that a time will come when there are such mighty visions experienced by large numbers of people collectively. This has a strong impact on the soul, and when the moment comes, there is a coincidence of the event and the memory in wildly unstable circumstances. Then the soul awakens, but does not necessarily understand. At such time, those BKs who have good understanding and good yoga can be helpful and supportive through their vibrations. This is called spiritual service. Indeed, the destruction through nuclear war, civil war, and natural calamities changes the world population and geography drastically, allowing for a new civilization to be set up that is fundamentally different from the current civilization that we call Western civilization. All religions and philosophies that belong to it would have been wiped out. God goes into retirement, and the human and natural world function harmoniously for quite some time, then break up during the small destruction, and so the process, the story, proceeds indefinitely. When this is explained to people, mostly they say, "Why is it like this? It should not be like this." And they do not make any effort to claim their inheritance. Although there are no signs, indications, or proofs, there is a firm belief in evolution and progress. The concept of evolution is not just Darwinian, but also present in Vedantic Hinduism. Human psychology is such that it cannot bear the idea that everything is slowly deteriorating. Yet, God makes it clear that the only power that can bring matter and spirit to its zenith is the power of God. This is also called purification. God's task as the creator and purifier is to bring everything and everyone to their original state of perfection. From then on, in the context of time and space, everything and everyone begins deteriorating, at first slowly, but it accelerates. It may be safe to say that the only thing that is evolving is science and technology. God does not bring science and technology to their perfect state, since human beings can do this very effectively. God will do what human beings cannot do, and will not do what human beings can do. Yes, God will help, give inspirations, signs, visions, and incognito support. The time when the process of deterioration is reversed is during the confluence age between the Iron Age and the Golden Age. This takes place when a few people become Raj Yogis and conduits for the energy of God to be drawn into matter and spirit. This is called purification. Om Shanti.